right, stocks say yes. Is the recovery the real deal? Stocks say yes, but there is disagreement here. We got our friend Peter Schiff of Euro Pacific Capital. He's the author of the little book of bull moves in bear markets. We also have Peter Marisi, University of Maryland, former chief economist for the International Trade Commission. Let's go right to it. Peter, you're still on the pessimist side, I take it.
Sure. I mean, the stock market goes up and down. I wouldn't try to draw any inferences on the health of the underlying economy based on, a 1 week or 7% move up in the stock market. I mean, the stock market's been wrong in the past, and it's likely wrong now. It's
been wrong in the past? Seriously wrong in the past? I mean, that's kind of a bald statement. Peter Marisi, do you agree with that? Stocks are regarded as one of the leading indicators, and the leading indicators are actually, the index of the leading indicators is very bullish right now, Peter Marisi.
Absolutely. When I was on this show in May, when they released the stress tests on the banks, I said around the end of June, stocks would start to soar. The reason being is the analysts, the companies themselves would start to report things that would smell the recovery, indicate that it was coming. The recovery is coming. We're seeing it with falling jobless claims, the housing market, the new housing starts starting to get going again, and things like this. Think of it as the airplane coming down and hitting the deck and catching that wire. And once that happens, off it goes. And the politics are very important here. I think cap and trade's going down. I think healthcare's going down. And when investors see that, and when the public sees that, and entrepreneurs see that, they'll say, heck, America's back, the statists are out.
Well, that's an interesting point, Peter Schiff. America's back, the statists are out. I myself think this stuff's all going to be defeated. How does that enter into your thinking on the U.S. recession?
I hope these things are defeated. If they're not defeated, it's just going to take a bad situation and make it worse. But the statists aren't out. They're here. They're in control. And the problem is there are some real structural imbalances with the U.S. economy. And this recovery is never going to get underway until the government gets out of the way and lets the market solve these problems. Right now, we're preventing that from happening. And to look at the stock market, I mean, we've been in a bear market for 9 years. I mean, the Dow's been falling. It's lost 75% of its value in terms of gold. As far as I'm concerned, this bear market isn't even halfway over.
What is it, the one thing you'd like to see, Peter Schiff, that would change your mind on this gloomy outlook?
Well, first of all, we're going to have to get a Fed that raises interest rates up to an appropriate level. They're still much too low.
With the unemployment rate at 9.5% and inflation actually falling on the CPI,
no,
you want the Fed to tighten?
Inflation is not falling, all right? There is too much inflation. We need lower prices right now. Prices should be falling. Real estate prices are still too high. Asset prices are still too high. They have to be allowed to come down to reflect reality. And we have to allow a lot of companies to fail. We can't keep propping up companies that need to collapse. We need to rebuild a more viable, productive economy, and we're not going to do that unless we allocate our resources properly.
Peter Marisi, besides the stock market rally today, this week, which is dramatic, and we've had a nice run since early March, what is it that makes you so confident about the recovery?
Well, I think that we've had a reset on the consumer's part. Certainly they needed to save more, and they're rebuilding their balance sheets. Once they're done with that and the job losses go away, they'll be ready to start spending again. And that's going to take us out.
No, Americans are going to have to save 10 to 20% of their incomes for the next generation. We have to go from it.
Yes, they do. We're broke. Are going to recover.
No, we're broke. Americans have to rebuild their savings.
You need that to sell your book.
No, their home equity is gone. They're loaded up with debt.
Peter,
they have to save.
Just quickly on the way out, Peter Marisi, when will this recovery materialize? Are we talking
September 30th?
Right.
Not a chance.
Not a chance, Peter.
This is a fourth quarter recovery.
All right, fourth quarter.
In what decade?
All right, so you don't see it, Mr. Schiff, Mr. Marisi, you do see it.
Yes.
All right, much more to be revealed. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it very much.